I am not. 1. Terrorist. How about enemy of the state? As a Muslim you must adhere to Sharia, the Islamic sacred law, which not only regulates religious matters, but politics as well. The religion of Islam is not part of the discussion, so we leave it aside. Mr. Kim, which political system allows Sharia? When the Muslim leader al-Baghdadi and his Islamic State Muslims announced the Islamic State, the Caliphate, to the world, 120 Islamic scholars wrote what became known as the Letter to al-Baghdadi. In it they wrote, "There is agreement among the scholars that a caliphate is an obligation upon the Ummah. The Ummah has lacked a caliphate since 1924. Comment by the editor. Since the fall of the Ottoman Empire in 1924. Anjum Chowdhury, former leader of Sharia for UK. As Muslims we do not recognize the United Nations Security Council, NATO, Geneva 2, 3 or 4. They are regimes of the devil. The Cairo Declaration on Human Rights in Islam. Article 24. All the rights and freedoms stipulated in this declaration are subject to the Islamic Sharia. Article 25. The Islamic Sharia is the only source of reference for the explanation or clarification of any of the articles of this declaration. The Cairo Declaration on Human Rights in Islam. Article 10. Islam is the religion of unspoiled nature. It is prohibited to exercise any form of compulsion on man, or to exploit his poverty or ignorance in order to convert him to another religion, or to atheism. Sharia. Book O number 8.1. When a person, who has reached puberty, and is sane voluntarily apostatizes from Islam, he deserves to be killed. Mr. Kim, how many Korean diamonds are now sharing their view, wanting to replace the South Korean political system? Allah is one dictator like the leader of the North Korean regime. Those who do not toe the party line can be killed. It begs the question, who is worse? The cruel fate of one enemy of Allah. Killed and slashed or tortured with about 20 knives sticking in his body, in accordance with Allah's words as found in Koran 5:33. Here is the full text of Koran 5:33. Koran 5:33 Shakir, the punishment of those who wage war against Allah and His Messenger, and strive to make mischief in the land is only this, that they should be murdered, or crucified, or their hands and their feet should be cut off on opposite sides, or they should be imprisoned. This shall be as a disgrace for them in this world, and in the hereafter they shall have a grievous chastisement. Others have it as be killed, shall be slaughtered, are being slain. Be killed, shall be slaughtered, are being slain. By whom? By any Muslim, who has the nerve to kill the enemy of Allah. Sharia has no penalty for any Muslim, who kills a non-Muslim. Reliance of the Traveler. The classical manual of Islamic sacred law. It is in the West the best known work about Islamic rulings, Sharia. It says in Book O number 1.2 the following are not subject to retaliation. Second, a Muslim for killing a non-Muslim. Third, a Jewish or Christian subject of the Islamic State for killing an apostate from Islam. Because a subject of the state is under its protection, while killing an apostate from Islam is without consequences. End of quote. Let's recap. Those who surrender to Allah's will are called to build Allah's political government, the caliphate on the earth. Killing system critics encouraged. Non-Muslims are not equal to Muslims. In Allah's opinion, one of these two persons belongs to the best of mankind, while the other is worse than animals. Mr. Kim. The key to success for Islam in South Korea: tell all non-Muslim South Koreans they are worse than a dog. And the only way to be part of the best of peoples is to convert to Islam. There is agreement among the scholars that a caliphate is an obligation upon the Ummah. The Ummah has lacked a caliphate since 1924. Mr. Kim, as a Muslim you must adhere to Sharia, the Islamic sacred law, which not only regulates religious matters, but politics as well. Next, slavery in Islam and Islamic sacred law. Book 0 number 9.13. When a child or a woman is taken captive, they become slaves by the fact of capture, and the woman's previous marriage is immediately annulled. Let's recap. Those who surrender to Allah's will are called to build Allah's political government, the caliphate on the earth. Killing system critics encouraged. Non-Muslims are not equal to Muslims. Allah allows slavery in his political system. Koran 5:33 continues, or crucified, or their hands and their feet should be cut off on opposite sides, or they should be imprisoned. These penalties are carried out by Muslims, agents of the Islamic State. Mr. Kim, in one of your videos you had a picture of the Islamic State Muslims. As to Koran 5:33, or crucified. Allah was so impressed with the crucifixion, a pagan invention, that he included it as a means to punish his enemies. Now one passage, which bridges the political with the religious side of Islam, the promises of the gardens in the afterlife. It ties nicely in with Koran 5:33. Yusuf Ali Quran 9:111. Allah hath purchased of the believers their persons and their goods, for theirs, in return, is the garden of paradise. They fight in his cause, and slay, and are slain, a promise binding on him in truth, through the law, the gospel, and the Quran. And who is more faithful to his covenant than Allah? Then rejoice in the bargain, which ye have concluded. That is the achievement supreme. And slay, and are slain. They kill others, and are killed. Mr. Kim, before you converted to Islam, did they tell you all about this? Is South Korea ready to embrace the Islamic political system, which allows Muslims, male and females, to own slaves, also male and females? Mr. Kim, you, the person, is not the target of my criticism. It is Allah, the worst dictator in all of history. I'm just using your current popularity to point to the inherent flaws and faults of Islam, here now, especially Allah's unjust political system called the Caliphate. It is the job of the South Korean government to determine if you're one enemy of the state or not. My opinion does not matter. Mr. Kim.